These guitar geniuses achieved the unthinkable, creating riffs so powerful that they not only defined their songs, but also captured the essence of true rock incredibly well. In this special, we'll talk about the essence of rock and roll, the 10 greatest guitar riffs of all time. So put on your headphones, and get ready to hear those catchy hooks that stick in your head, make you turn up the volume, and feel the electricity in your skin from the great classics of our favorite music, rock. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your likes so you don't miss out on the content we'll be releasing every week. Thank you very much. Number 10. Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne is one of the few rock giants whose solo career has been at least as successful as that of the iconic band from which he emerged. And nothing symbolizes this new chapter better than Crazy Train, the first single from his debut album, Blizzard of Oz. Here, Ozzy's unmistakable voice moves away from the somber sound of Sabbath and into more modern, sharper, and more frenetic territory. But this roar of renewal would not have been possible without the guitarist who defined an era, Randy Rhoads. His opening F-sharp minor riff for Crazy Train is simply unforgettable, a hook that grabs you from the first note and remains tattooed on rock's collective memory. Randy was only 25 when he lost his life in that tragic plane crash in 1982, but he still left an indelible mark on rock history. Number 9. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits. In the world of rock and roll, biting the hand that feeds you can have unforeseen consequences, but for Dire Straits, that risk resulted in their most successful song, Money for Nothing.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar.
In the mid-'80s, when MTV had absolute power to launch or bury artists, Mark Knopfler came up with an abrasive, synthesized, fat riff, inspired by ZZ Top, that would change the band's course. That riff, wrapped in a very 80s production, is so iconic that just one note is enough to transport you back to the decade of neon, cassette tapes, and bizarre music videos. While walking through an appliance store in New York, Mark overheard a delivery man complaining about the rise of MTV. The guy, looking at all the televisions broadcasting music videos, said things like, "That ain't working," and Knopfler, with the intuition of a true songwriter, began to write everything down right there and then.
Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your...
That street dialogue became an ironic critique of instant fame, of those stars who get money without lifting a finger, while ordinary people carry boxes and break their backs day after day. MTV got the joke and helped make the song Dire Straits' first and only #1 hit in the United States, while Brothers in Arms, the album that contained the song, also topped the charts. Number 8. Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana. There is nothing simpler than playing 4 chords in a relatively rudimentary way, but therein lies its genius. As a guitarist, Kurt Cobain may generate mixed opinions, but the effectiveness of this riff is undeniable, especially when the band and distortion kick in. With a Fender Mustang in hand, this supercharged riff inspires an anarchic sense of rage and power, and has done so since the 1991 release of Nirvana's second hit album, Nevermind. Kurt Cobain said he wanted to compose the ultimate pop song, and to achieve this, he openly drew inspiration from the dynamic style of the Pixies, as he himself later confessed in an interview. Although this iconic 4-chord progression is not original, the dynamic contrasts between the soft and loud parts of the song are so striking that even Rolling Stone magazine ranked it among the 10 best songs of all time, and to this day, it remains one of the most recognizable pieces of music in history. Number 7. Layla, Derek and the Dominoes.
What do you do when you get lonely? No one's waiting by your side.
It is quite ironic that many people's favorite moment from guitar god Eric Clapton is actually from Duane Allman. It is well known that Old Slow Hand had nothing to do with the creation of this riff, but the truth is that it sounds pretty great. Released in November 1970 on the album Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, produced by Tom Dowd, the song fuses blues, rock, and hard rock, and was written by Clapton as a declaration of impossible love for Pattie Boyd, the wife of his friend George Harrison, although she would later marry Clapton in 1979. Although the single did not initially shine on the charts, only reaching the top 10 in the United States, after its 1972 re-release, it gained mythical status over time. In fact, in 1992, it received a Grammy for Best Rock Performance for the acoustic version on Unplugged. Number 6. Enter Sandman, Metallica. With its pessimistic, clean minor key riff, captivating lyrics, and imposing sound, Enter Sandman was the song that laid the foundation for the rest of the Black Album, both in sound and atmosphere. The funny thing is that this riff didn't come from the mind of the master of riffs, James Hetfield, but from Kirk Hammett, and the best part is that it was born almost accidentally. Kirk said that one night, after listening to Soundgarden's Louder Than Love, he was left with ideas swirling around in his head. Originally, the first motif was just 5 notes that led directly to the power chord, nothing more mysterious than that, but when he took it to the studio, everything changed. The band began cutting and repeating that clean motif. Hetfield decided to double it with the bass to give it more body, and that simple lick ended up becoming the iconic intro that we all recognize instantly. Thus, Enter Sandman was born, a perfect blend of Kirk's spontaneous spark and the technical refinement of the rest of the band, creating one of the most memorable riffs in rock history. Number 5. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, The Rolling Stones. Keith Richards may never win any awards for his impressive guitar skills, but he doesn't need to, because the main riff of his most iconic song is simple yet powerful. Legend has it that Keith composed it while half asleep in a hotel room. He grabbed his guitar, recorded the riff on his cassette player, muttered, "I can't get no," and went back to sleep snoring. Mick Jagger, always sharp with his lyrics, completed what would become a fierce critique of consumerism and sexual repression in the 1960s. That heavy, almost threatening tone we all know came from a revolutionary device, the Maestro FZ-1 fuzz tone, one of the first fuzz distortions on the market. Ironically, Keith didn't like how it sounded. In fact, he imagined replacing that guitar line with a horn section, because the riff reminded him of a baritone saxophone. Fortunately, the band, producer Andrew Loog Oldham, and engineer David Hassinger voted to leave the fuzz as it was, and thank goodness they did, because that sound ended up defining not only the song, but an entire era of rock. Number 4. Iron Man, Black Sabbath. Tony Iommi's influence on heavy metal and rock in general is undeniable. Most musicians would be proud to have composed a single classic riff, but Tony has written countless ones, often with 2 or 3 in the same song, as in Iron Man. This iconic song has a few things of its own to offer, but it is the slow, pessimistic blues of its main riff that, on its own, fulfills its themes of Armageddon and revenge, narrating the plight of a time-traveling robot man who is abandoned by those he tries to help. Since its release in 1970, as part of the album Paranoid, the riff has been an anthem for metal fans, capturing the darkness and intensity that defines the genre. Number 3. Back in Black, AC/DC. Following the death of Bon Scott in February 1980, Angus and Malcolm Young, together with Brian Johnson, wrote a 3-chord riff that would sound like funeral bells, but celebrating life. Recorded in the Bahamas and produced by Robert Lang, the track gave its name to the album Back in Black in July 1980 and was released as a single in December of the same year. The original simplicity of the riff makes it accessible to any beginner guitarist, something Angus associates with his love for Chuck Berry. The song has been featured in blockbuster movies such as Iron Man, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and global sporting events, proving its instant adrenaline effect. In 2019, Metal Hammer magazine called it the 3-chord monster that brings together parents, children, and even grandmothers. Number 2. Whole Lotta Love, Led Zeppelin.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling.
If there is one riff that sounds like a declaration of absolute power, it is Whole Lotta Love. With just 2 bars, Jimmy Page redefined what it meant to be heavy, sensual, and dangerous in rock. Released in 1969 as the opening track on the album, Led Zeppelin II, this song marked the exact moment when the band stopped being a promising newcomer and became an unstoppable force. The riff, built on standard tuning, but executed with an almost animalistic groove, is born of the blues, but taken to another level by Page's right hand, his aggressive attack, and that raw sound that seemed about to explode out of the speakers. Although the lyrics took direct inspiration from an old Willie Dixon blues song, the sonic magnitude of Whole Lotta Love was so great that it ended up eclipsing any comparison. The song became Led Zeppelin's biggest commercial success in the United States, and, for many, the riff that officially ushered in modern hard rock. Number 1. Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple.
We all came out to Montreal.
There are riffs that are learned, and there are riffs that are inherited. Smoke on the Water is not just a song. It is the first riff that millions of guitarists played in their lives, the gateway to hard rock, and one of the most recognizable sounds ever recorded. Included on 1972's Machine Head, but released as a single in 1973, the song recounts the real fire at the Montreux Casino during a Frank Zappa show. Ritchie Blackmore composed a simple and devastating line, loosely inspired by Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, creating a riff so clear and direct that it can be played with a single string and still sound gigantic. Since its release in 1972, Smoke on the Water has become an absolute anthem, crossing generations, genres, and borders. Few riffs have been as universal, as influential, and as timeless as this one. Smoke on the Water not only tells a true story, it taught the whole world how to start playing rock. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the most iconic guitar riffs of all time. If you enjoyed reliving these legendary songs, leave me a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more content full of rock and energy. I invite you to continue enjoying the world of rock with some of these videos that I will leave on the screen. See you there, rock a friend.